Welcome back to another edition of the B4evaKool podcast. My name is Rex45, and this evening we got Dredmon in the building. Welcome to the show,
What
man.
up? How's everybody? How you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. Pretty good, man. As we were talking off here, it's nice. It's nice to be down in Florida, where it's pretty warm and it's not as cold as Jennings, where I was like 2 weekends ago.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they're racing on sleet out there. I was like, what are they doing? That was
Nah,
crazy.
yeah, for sure. It was pretty wild, man. It was pretty cool to do, and take part in it myself. But it was 28 degrees in the mornings.
I can't ride in that weather. And then you start sweating and it's just extra cold. It's just like brick. You gotta
Yeah,
touch your
I
tires.
go ahead. Yeah, I'm usually comfortable in the 40s. I can ride in the 40s if it's below 40 degrees. Well, I haven't ridden below 40 degrees, so it's always been that. I was like, and Jennings was this past with time, and then in Roblin a few years ago, I was like, it was like 40 something degrees and raining and cold.
Oh my god. Yeah, I can't. There ain't no way. I
Yeah,
think
no
my
doubt.
limit is like 70. I think I did ride in like 65-degree weather. I think that was I think that was Roebling one year, but that was the coldest I got. I was like, I can't do any more than that because I feel like I don't function properly in the cold weather. There's no way.
No, I feel,
There's no
no, I
way.
feel, yeah, I feel, yeah. I think from a mental standpoint, it's cool to go through it because like I was going down the straightaway with my hand just holding the throttle open because I couldn't grip it and just using my palm just to hold it
For
open.
real.
But
It's
it is
holding.
what it is. So, but yeah, let's get into it, man. Let's talk about what your journey into motorcycling is like. You know what I'm saying? When did you first started riding? Was it something that you did when like 4 or 5, like some of these kids got to do? Was it something you started later in life?
Yeah, I started. I think I started riding. I got my first bike. I was about 19 or 20, but before that, I was racing like BMX as a kid. Like I was like 14, 15, 16, racing BMX, and then I started playing football, so I drifted away from the bikes and stuff like that. But I've
Right.
always had like bikes in my corner. My friends always had dirt bikes, so I always be like, "Let me borrow your bike, bro. Let me go ahead and hop on that thing, please." My mom would never let me get a motorcycle, dirt bike, nothing. So I feel like my revenge was as soon as I turned 19, 20. I think that's why I got my motorcycle. I was like pulled up at the house. She's like, "Whose bike is that? Whose bike you borrowing again?" I'm like, "It's mine now." She's like, "What?" So that was cool. But yeah, I started riding at about 19 on the street and stuff like that, and having fun with my friends and just going
Yeah.
out like bike nights and stuff like that, and just enjoying like cruising around the city and doing normal biker stuff, wheeling, watching my friends do like stunts and stuff. I was one of those guys. Just I was always the cameraman though, so I wasn't like too crazy with it.
Got you. And what was your first bike?
My first bike was a '06 636 Kawasaki, so it was all blue. It was nice, man. I love that thing. That thing was sweet. That thing was a good starter bike too. Like my buddy actually sold it to me. He took me for a ride on it one day. He was like, "When I sell this thing, I'll sell it to you." So I had waited like a year and a half for that bike, and I was like, because they always had like older friends, so he got rid of it and sold it to me. And I was
Right.
like, "Yes." Pulled up at the
Nice.
house on it.
Yeah, same thing. My mother was not having it when I wanted I didn't race BMX, but I rode BMX in the city and stuff like that. And we made our own jumps and did the street stuff.
Oh, for
Yeah, I
sure.
wanted a dirt bike as well, and it was no part of it. And it took me. You got a bike pretty young, which is pretty good. It took me a while to get my first bike, but it was the same thing. As soon as I could do it, man, I was on board. And
Right.
so, what was the scene like? And were you in West Palm at the time when you were riding the bike? Or what was the scene like back then?
At first, when I first started riding, I was only riding like I was like in the backwoods type riding, so I wasn't like with a group of guys and stuff like that at first. And then probably when I turned like 23, 22, I got more into the group riding, and that was pretty cool. We used to drive everywhere, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. We just go to bike meets. We end up starting like a bike group, or not a group, but like a bike night in West
Mm-hmm.
Palm at a vape store. And we would meet there every Tuesday night. And go from there, from Tuesday, we go to from the vape store, we go to the gas station, and more people would meet at the gas station. And then once we leave the gas station, it'd be like 40 bikes with us. And then we just start going, whatever we plan for the day. It might be another sports bar, or like another bike meetup spot, or something
Right.
like something to do, or we hit 95 and we're just figure it out on the way.
Oh man,
That was like
that's
that was always like a cool thing right there, like with the bike meets and stuff like that, just meeting new people and stuff too.
yeah. I didn't get much into riding with a big group of people. I missed out on that. Um, and so when did you start going to the track? And how did you find about going to the track? And did you keep that Kawasaki for a while?
Oh yeah, I got rid of that Cowie, and then I upgraded because the street boys, we need speed, so I ended up getting a 2006 ZX10, and that was
Okay.
all green. So I had to keep up with everybody and do my thing on the big bike. So I always had the GoPro and the helmet. But yeah, we started getting kind of reckless out there, like watching my friends like do like wild things on the street and end up like being kind of bad in some situations. Some accidents happen, like people like just do like you don't even like expect these things to happen. Like when you're riding in a group, or somebody
Right.
gets hurt, somebody gets hit, and things like start happening like that, just over and over and over. And then you're like, man, this kind of isn't where I want to be. This isn't where I want to do. Like, so I had a couple friends get hurt pretty bad. I lost a couple of good friends and stuff like that. So I just wanted to find another avenue to ride in without the aspect of being, just on the road hurt. Like, so I was, I stopped riding for a little bit. One of my best friends had passed away. Stopped riding for like a year, and he bought a bike, or I had bought a bike for the track probably like a year and a half prior before he passed. And he used to do stunt riding. So we found a bike for him. And he used to start doing the stunt riding, and I was just watching him all the time do the stunt riding. And then um, after a while, we found the street bike for me, the racing bike. And then once we got the racing bike set up, um, we were looking for tracks and stuff, but we couldn't really find anybody with the information, because it was kind of like a tight knit network, especially back then. Like you don't really see it on social media. It wasn't really anywhere like publicized like as it is now as much.
All right.
So even though it was bigger then, it wasn't like motocross was, where you could just find a track or dirt bikes, and guys are out there and you can find somewhere to go ride dirt bikes anytime. So after he passed, I was actually at the barbershop, and I was talking about my motorcycle to this guy, and another customer overheard us, and he's like, "Oh, I'm getting my bike fixed, and the bike that I need to fix was this track bike." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to this guy. I'm bringing my bike down there," and end up getting the number to the guy. And I called the guy and made an appointment with him to get to the bike shop the following week, so I can get the race bike finally finished and set up for whatever circumstance would happen. Like, now I'm getting progress. So I
Right.
made the appointment for the following week. And in between that, what happened was I met a guy outside my barbershop like 2 days after I made that phone call. And he was opening a vape store, which is funny. So he's opening a vape store around the hall. So we're talking, chopping it up. And then we part ways. And the following week, when I go to drop the bike off, I see the same guy that I was talking to about the vape store. So it was kind of like a weird situation, because the motorcycle shop was all the way in Sample Road, and I'm in West Palm. So that was at least a 45-minute drive just to get to the motorcycle shop, which was pretty weird. So the guy that I met at my barbershop was the same guy that was going to be working on my motorcycle a week later. So I dropped the bike off, and in the motorcycle shop, there was nothing but race suits all around. So all the race suits were all around.
No kidding.
I end up meeting, his name is Tim Hunt. And I don't know if you know who Tim Hunt is. He's number 71. He used to race pro AMA racing with Hooters. And they used to have a shop called TT Motorsports with Tony Montenegro. And so they also had like Sean Dillon Kelly on their team at one point in time, and a couple other kids that were out there that were really, really young, like young stars at the beginning.
Oh, wow. And roughly what year was this?
This was about 2015. I was about 25 when I first started. 2014, 2015. Okay. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Like I went to a shop and it was nothing but like race bikes all over there. And I was like, yo, how do you get started with this? And I was like, I've been looking for somebody like this for so long. And then finally, he's like, yeah, just come with me next week. I should have your bike done. I got a suit for you. And then I'll get you some gloves. Yeah, and he got me on the track with him the following week. And I did like an intermediate session or a novice session. And then they were showing me around the track, showing me how everything worked with my bike and what I needed to get and everything. So they were like giving me a bunch of stuff, like helping me out with tire warmers and new tires and things like that, just to get in the process and get started with everything. So that was pretty cool how it kind of like fell in my lap in a sense, like just from the barbershop talking and then and then end up randomly meeting the guy outside and then going down south and it's the same guy. And I'm like, didn't I just see you? He's like, yo, yeah, I just saw you. I'm like, this is wild. So I know it was meant to be. So after that, I just started riding on the track like religiously. Like after I touched the pavement at the track, it was like just dwindling on the street, just less and less and more track riding. So.
And what bike was that for the track bike? Was that the ZX10 as well, or
it was another? It was an 03 636. So I had to get an old 636 just to get started. Like a rat bike, and I still have that bike. Actually, it's like one of my favorite bikes to look at in the garage. And I'm like, dang,
that's what's up. That's what's up. And what was that experience like going to? And which track did you go to for the first time? And was it overwhelming for you going to the track for the first time? Because for me, it was pretty overwhelming. Like I remember I did it at New Hampshire Speedway in Loudon, New Hampshire. And my first lap out, I was like, what am I doing? Just pit, go home. I didn't even know what the word was, pit. I just knew I wanted to get off the track.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? So what was that like for you? You know, that whole like, okay, I'm going to the track. Did you get it sounds like you probably had a really good list of things you needed to get before you went to the track just based on meeting this dude.
Yeah. I definitely needed a lot of stuff. The suit, like it was luckily that I ran into him because he had a lot of the base things that I needed just to get started. And I could just use that for now and then build as I went along. But like when I first went on the track, it was definitely intimidating for sure because, you know, like you got these guys, even though it's a novice group, it's your first time and there's guys going by you and you're like, yo, you're trying to figure out how to turn the bike. And you're like, I'm not even like leaning properly. I'm like trying to like get the bike over. I'm just on the brakes. I'm like, the bike's not turning right. So I'm like going straight still and not turning. Yeah. So it's like, it's just a lot of things you had to learn while you're out there. Like, I'm like, you think you have to turn the wheel a little bit. No, you literally have to like lean, like a lot of things that you wouldn't put in perspective on the street because you're going a lot slower. So a lot of times when you go on the corner on the street, you kind of like turn the handlebar because you're going so slow. It's like, you have to like kind of, it's not a turn, but more of a push type of thing. But on the track, you have to use more of your body and things like that. And your legs and your arms, and it's like more like intrusive to your movement, the way you gotta like use your whole body for like just to get the bike to do what you want it to do the proper way. And like it took like years for me to figure that out. Like My feet were always duck-footed on the bike. Like, it's crazy how you got to
Right.
keep your legs in and just like the people going around you. So you're kind of like watching too many things and not focusing on what you need to do, especially in the beginning. You're like, and then you're like looking around. You're not looking at the corner. You're looking like through the corner. You're like, man, that's a lot of like space. And then you run out of space because you're not paying attention.
Right.
So it's a lot of things that are coming at you at once. And then the
Right.
noises, the sounds, it's loud.
Oh yeah, for sure. And there was no mirrors on the bike.
Yeah, and you kind of do want to look behind you sometimes. You're like, no, don't do it, don't do it. Looking at the flag worker in the corner, you're like, damn, that's a corner worker. I've never seen one before. And then you're like,
yeah, no doubt. And so now, did you do the classroom for the first time when you went out, or was it more just hanging with those group of guys and they're just kind of giving you pointers? When you got out on track?
Yeah, they gave me like the track day. It was like a classroom setting in the beginning, but after that, like you needed what is it? So we did one track day. We did 2 track days actually, and it was like a group setting in the beginning. The teachers and stuff like that telling you what flags, what you need to look out for, what you shouldn't be doing, stuff like that. And then when I got to the pits with the guys, they would like show me how I would like handle situations, my braking points, what I should look for on the track, like with braking markers, because the classroom wouldn't really tell you that. It would more tell you about safety stuff like that.
Right.
And then those guys would tell you how to approach a corner, like what you're looking for, like your 3 focus points on a corner, your entry, your apex, and your exit, like where are you turning in, your tip-in entry. And I'm like, dang. I'm like, what do you mean my tip-in entry? I'm
right.
This is too much. Like, how wide are you? Are you in the middle of the track? Are you to the left of the track? Are you to the right of the track? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, well, you got to know all this stuff because that will set you up for each turn coming after that. So I'm like, dang, this is like not just one thing. It's multitudes of things to make everything like connect. So once you miss one point, it won't connect. You got to connect the dots in these things. Just like how Jennings has those little dots, like you got to connect the dots. If you don't connect them right, you're going to be all over the track. And like, where's this guy going?
Yeah, don't get me started with Jennings. I struggle with what is it? 7, 8, 9.
That's the triple left or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think is 7 the first right? If I'm remembering correctly, and then the rest the left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I hear that. And so did you leave after the first time and saying I'll be back? Were you hooked after that, or did it take some more time to get more acclimated to make a decision? Like, hey, because even though the morning. I was wondering why I was on the track. By the time I was driving home, I definitely knew I was going back. That kind of thing.
I was stoked the whole experience. So like when I left, I knew I was going back. I was just waiting for the next like track day that was open. I think we did like my first one was like in April, and then we did May, and then we did my first race in like July, and I was like hooked. Like I only did 2 track days, literally 2 track days, and then I raced at Barber Motorsports. Like it was crazy for a Weir race. And he's like, if you want to do it, this is where you start. And he's like, you only can practice so much. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm like 2 track days, and that's all he gave me. And he was like, I'll give you your race license. We can get you started right now.
Right.
I'm like, dang, all right, bro. Because he was affiliated with a lot of like big groups already, so he had his own race school. So I was like, cool. So he gave me a free pass pretty much. So I got set up with them.
Oh, nice.
And
yeah, my the classroom. So they have Penguin Racing School up in New Hampshire. So I did the class on the Friday, and and the first race is the rookie race. So it's all the people that took the class, the basic class and stuff like that. And essentially, if you don't crash, you get your license.
Right.
But in New Hampshire, they have 3 categories. You have a novice, an amateur, and then an expert, because it's, there's some walls.
Yeah.
There's some walls. And then I just raced after that. I didn't do any track days again until this is 2013. So I bought a bike in 2012. Did like 11,000 miles on the bike. Bought like heated gear so I can ride in the cold, all that, and then bought my buddy's old SV. And so I only did those just that one class, and then I just raced. And so in 2019, I did my second track day. So it's similar like you, where you just did a couple and that was it. How when you look back at that, do you think you should have done more track days, or is it it went according to plan?
I do think, in a sense, I should have did a little bit more practices, because at the end of the day, I was practicing with a bunch of people like doing reckless stuff, trying to like acclimate to what they were doing without actually knowing what I was doing. So it was more of like a trial and error without practice. So it was just like practice in the morning, 2-3 practices, and then go race. And it's like whatever I'm perfecting is imperfection. So it was kind of a bad thing in a sense. Like, then you have to realize you have to unfix your bad things that you do over and over and over, because you never really focused on it, because you never really practiced with it. You just went out and did your thing. Like, I'm good at certain things because of being in the race atmosphere a lot. Like, I'm good around a lot of people. Like, I feel comfortable in like a bunched up situation. Like, I don't get like nervous. Like, I don't feel like over pressured when like I'm in a group and everybody's on the brakes and I'm like, all right, this is getting kind of close. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, I have no problem with those type of things. Or like my launches, I'm very good at launching because I've been doing it for so long. Like, that's just what I do. Like, or even on the street or the drag strip that I was at before. Like, so like doing those type of things did help with my racing, but it didn't help me get better with just like perfecting myself on the track. Like, right now, I feel like I'm doing more perfecting and getting better at like my craft and what I'm not as good at, or what I need to focus more on. Like, I actually know what I'm looking for now. In the beginning, it was just like, what are you doing? I have no clue. I'm just riding this thing. I go out and come back in, like.
Right. So yeah, you mentioned that you raced at Wera. What was that like? The sign up process, and how do you feel about that club? I haven't raced with Wera yet, and you're talking about 2015, 2016. You were racing there, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of races there. There was like an A class, a B class, and a C class. It was a lot of like different things. I was confused about it the whole time. I was like, when do I go out and race? What do I do? Like, where do I go? Like, where do you start? Like, you got to do a lap around the beginning. And it was crazy because I didn't really get to practice there either, because it rained the whole day before. So it was a 2-day weekend. It was practice day all Saturday and a race on Sunday. And the way it was set up, like, the next day you only got like a sighting lap of practice, or like a couple laps of practice in the morning, but it was pouring rain, so I didn't go out there for practice either.
Right.
So the way it was set up, I just went out for my sighting lap, looked at Barber one lap, and started at the back of the pack.
Yeah.
And I just went. They had the little sign thing. I don't know what I was looking at. He was like, when you see the sign, go sideways, go down, you'll just see the flag and go. And I'm like, all right. So it was a 30 sign. And then they held it up and then sideways, and they dropped it. And then they just dropped the flag. And then I was off to the races, like one lap in, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like blind out there. It was intense.
Yeah.
It was like, I was in the back and I got a good start. So I was in like 17th. I think I ended up about like 11th, and then I ended finishing in the same spot, like out of 19 bikes. So I was like, all right, I'll take it if I finished the race. He's like, you didn't lose, bro. You're a winner. I'm like, yep, I didn't lose.
Right. Man, that's pretty wild, and that's a big grid to be starting out with. Now, and I think it was. I mean, I think by that time I was only going at Loudon until it was only one track. So I get that, like, when you first new at the track, you don't know where tech is, you don't know where registration is, you don't know, like all these things where you should be parking, all this stuff. And so there's it's almost like going, like it's like a new school, right? You're like your first time there, and you're trying to figure out where everything else thing is on top of. Yeah, now I got to go race, right? You know what I mean? And even like then we haven't even talk about tire warmers or anything like that. Did you have access to that guy to always be able to say, hey, I need help, or were you then connecting with other racers and they were helping you, showing you the way? Because I was pretty fortunate to have somebody I knew to take me along, and I was able to pit in their garage. So I just had to just show up and just kind of just learn, you know what I mean? Instead of just showing up by myself.
Yeah, that was the same way for me. Like Tim, like they took me under their wing and helped me out with everything I needed. Like after I think a year in, he's like, yo, you need another bike. I think it was like a year and a half. He's like, they set me up with like an R6. He's like, get this bike. We're going to save it for you. You can pay me off, do whatever you want to do. But
no kidding.
You got to get on another bike. You got to get this ready. So they would just set me up with a lot of things, like extra rims, like whatever I needed. And they were there for the first race too. So he knew exactly what I needed to do. He was racing as well. Like the whole team was racing. So it was pretty cool, like to have like a pit crew, like a pit, like everybody helping each other out, like seeing what a race team or a race like facility or what should actually be going on while everybody else is like riding. So the riders got a they have their role, and then the mechanic might be there, has his role, and then everybody around might help with the tire warmers when they're coming in or coming out. I'm like, oh, damn, this is like a team thing for real. Like, not just you riding, like you got to help everybody else that's around you. So it's like, there's really a lot of camaraderie, which was pretty cool. So like having that in the beginning was everything, because by yourself out there is you gonna have to ask for help. You might as well just find somebody like, yo, we're friends now. Like, help me out,
right? I completely agree. I was pretty fortunate there, and so for me, I only raced, like I said, I only raced at Loudon until 2019, and then I started going to Homestead in 2019, and it's one of the guys I met down. He was from Boston. I met him down in Homestead. And during the, I guess, 2021, December 2020, he convinced me to go up and down the East Coast, race CCS and ASRA. And it was very helpful because he was at the races. So we usually pitted next to each other. And that was huge, because if I had to do that by myself at a new track, learning the track, every track was new for me in 2021 except for Loudon. So
I don't know nothing right now.
Yeah, man. So after Barbara, were you hitting like the Weaver series?
We did. We were doing more CCS. We were doing CCS too in ASRA. I think the Weaver, he just wanted to do that, and then we did mainly like Homestead. They did a lot of Homestead. They did a lot of Palm Beach International Raceway when it was open. And then I think those are like the only 3 tracks that I was going to at the time. And then they did have a few, I think Jennings, they were racing at the time back in the day. And then Roebling Road was also a place that we had went a few times. But other than that, I was always down south in Florida. It was like a Florida series for CCS. They had like the Homestead every month, and then the Palm Beach like in between. So it was like, we didn't really have to go too far because everything else was 4 or 5 hours plus away, and it's a mission, man, to get all that stuff set up. And especially in the beginning, I didn't know.
Right. How since you mentioned going to Homestead a lot, I had some folks on who are not fans of Homestead. What are your thoughts on the track? I mean, you've been there a lot, and I assume you still go.
Yeah, I like it. I like the track a lot. I don't. A lot of people complain about it because it's a lot of stop and go, and like that's what I'm used to. Like I'm not used to these sweeping tracks that when I go up north, I'm like, bro, why am I going 120, 100 in this corner right now? This kink is fast. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, we don't have none of that. We just go straight, check up on the brakes, back that thing in, and just like let it get squirrely a little bit and at 40 miles an hour. That's nice. Like,
Yeah,
I'm going.
I think it's more the tile looking sections that they have that they don't feel comfortable
that
about.
That helps you be a better rider because then you have to pinpoint where you have to be at all the time. It's not like you can make a mistake. It's better for you to be more on point. Like every time you come through that section, you have to hit that focal point. Like you can't be off a little bit, or you're gonna get in your mind and be like, oh, let me let off a little bit because if I go over the cement patch, I might crash. So now you're letting off the brakes because you don't want to be on the brakes on that patch. So now you're carrying too much speed. Now you're too far on the corner. Now you got to come back over, get on the brakes late. So like that's why it's a mental thing, like if you don't worry about it too much, you'll be all right. But a lot of people are like mentally aware of it a lot when I don't even look at it anymore. And if I do see it coming, I just do my little thing, let off a little, and just ride over it. Like, okay, we're good.
Yeah, but, I started doing that last year. Just riding over it now because you realize it is mental.
It's a big mental patch, literally, but the track overall is pretty fun. Like I'm still trying to figure the thing out, like in certain sections. So like every time I ride there, I've been riding there for almost like 7 years, and it's still like a new track for me. Like start figuring out different things, how to like enter certain turns. And then I've ridden 5 different bikes on that track. So like each type of riding I do is like helping me learn how to ride everywhere else, like a certain way. So like on my 300, you have to carry so much speed on that bike, especially because all the turns are stop and go. Like you don't want to slow down too much. So you have to learn how to trust your bike and carry your speed, your momentum. And then like my twin, like I got to learn to get on the gas immediately. Like don't wait when you're coming out of a corner because it's going to take a long time for it to spool up. You're like, ball. You might as well be on the gas in the apex half the time because it's like, all right, here we go. Like then it starts to spool up. But then when you get to your 600, you like, don't do that. Like you gotta find a nice braking zone, brake kind of later, carry your speed, but then get on the gas smoother, And then your 1,000 is just like, just gas it as soon as you come out of the corner and just make up all the time you can. Brake super early, smooth in the corner, and then just gas as much as you can on the 1,000. So it's like a bunch of different riding styles, but they all help you accumulate like one type of riding for you.
Right.
So.
And now, do you race all these bikes at the same time? Not at the same time, but like you currently have all 4, and you bring them all to the track and sign up for 4 different races.
I can't. I always have 2 bikes, and then I end up having like 2 different class bikes because I get to practice more. So I'd be like, let me see if I can get the 300. First, I had a 300 and a 600.
Yeah.
So I'd always do like 300. So it helped me like learn how to carry my speed with the 600. So I wouldn't be as like too much on the brakes. I would kind of let off a little bit sooner now on the 600.
Yeah.
So that was a really weird like racing type of thing when you go from such a high speed to a low speed. But the way the races were set up, I would go from my 300 and then go to my 600. So like I would never be tired. So like right after a race, if I would go race for my 300, I'd be like, oh, that was fun. And then go on the big bike and be like, all right, this is how you're supposed to ride. And then once the evening races would start, I'd start on my small bike and be like, oh, I can go real deep into the corner because I felt good on the big bike at this spot. So like the little bikes, I would just like master and like love them. And then after I got tired of 300, I got I had an R3, and then I moved to KTM 390, and then got rid of those, and then I got a um, what was it? SFV 650 Gladius.
Okay.
So those are all like 2 years apart. So it was like 6 years. Then I got the Gladius like 3 years ago or something like that. And that bike is so much fun. Like I didn't know the SVs were like the ultimate bike in a sense. Like things.
No, they're nice bike. I that's what I learned how to ride on. Mine was a 03, Gen 2, but a 03. Those are really good bikes to learn how to ride. It's interesting. So I started on the SV, went to a R6 in 2016 till 2021. End of 21, I believe I bought a KTM RC390. And same thing, I wanted to work on like corner speed and carrying, and just overall, I broke I fractured my hand. So I picked up a really bad riding style because I wanted to race even though my hand wasn't fully healed. So I wasn't. So after my hand was healed, and I was just like, what am I doing on a bike now? This don't feel right. And so I ended up going with the RC390, a cup bike, a 2015. And the same thing. So like I think it was 22. 22 I rode both bikes, the R6 and the RC, which was great. I would like the way the races was set up. And I think in 24, like something changed, not 24, 23 maybe, something changed where the schedules were like back to back. It wasn't like there was nothing like in between anymore and stuff like that. And so I ended up just running the RC I still only mostly raced the RC the last few years. So what is like, jumping, from, the bigger bikes to the small bikes in a race and stuff like that. And, does it ever, mess you up?
Not really. For me, it didn't really bother me. Like I already knew what I was kind of expecting, like in a sense, because I was on the bike so often, but like, maybe I would like break kind of too late on the 600 because I'm thinking, like I can do it because I'm going deeper on the 300. But that ultimately just made me better because like if I stuck that thing, I was like, dang, like, yeah, okay. Like I kind of messed up, but we're going to make it work. And then I'll just stick with that spot, so. And then if I mess up, I'm like, damn, I'm not on the little bike, and then even so, like if I went from the big bike to the little bike, I'd be like, I'm not going anywhere. And then when I'm racing those guys, they're like, damn, you brake so late into the corner. I'm like, I feel like I'm going so slow. So
right.
It would kind of like reciprocate. Like, but now if I would go from like the 300 to the 1000, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do that. That bike is just too much going on. Like I can do the twin to the 1000, but not the 300. There'd be no way. Like,
and did you change your lines? Because on RC, I still ride with my R6 lines.
Well, kind of more wider on the bike with the 390.
Yeah,
or the R3. I was very wide a lot of places, like edge track riding, trying to like just sweep the whole thing. But it all determines on like what's going on in the race, because in a sense sometimes I'll hold the line so tight that I'll just like I'll make it a triangle. Like I'll just cut the apex really tight. So I learned like wherever I was at, from like if I was going toward a corner on the 300, I should just point towards the apex. I shouldn't like, so if I was really wide, I would just aim straight towards it. I wouldn't like round it off.
Gotcha.
So I would just like come here and then just aim straight for it. So like I would carry so much more speed in a sense than having to like on the 600, you kind of like let it swing around in a sense. But this like 300, you kind of like point and shoot. Now and then on the 1000, they're telling me to do the same similar thing, like just come in, point for the corner, and then shoot out. So in some senses, like when I'm racing people and I know we're really tight and I know you're right behind me, I'm just gonna like fold into the corner really, really early. And then you're gonna be like, yo, what the heck? And then you're gonna be sweeping around. But you might catch me a little bit, but I'll have more drive out of the corner than you.
Right. Yeah, more like a V shape.
Yeah, so but it all like comes down to like what's going on in the circumstance, like especially when you're racing, like there's so much that can happen where like it's like a chess game like the whole time, like especially when you're like back to back with people, like you're just
Right, right.
figuring them out, like should I take it too wide, should I go in early, should I wait, like things like that.
Oh man, it is a chess game out there. And so you're I assume you're an expert writer, and how long did it take you to go from amateur to expert?
Think I was amateur. See, I have some trophies sitting out here. I think I turned expert in like 20. What year is this? 2025. I think I did it in like 2020. So it took about like 5 years, I think. And that's like the Florida series was kind of funny. So for CCS, there wasn't like a lot of guys down here, so it was kind of easier to like get overall championships and stuff like that. And then I did like a couple Daytona races, which was pretty cool. But like, and then when I went to the Florida series, I asked them to start me over because I wasn't like, I felt like I wasn't like worthy of it yet, like
Right.
And then I got like the overall amateur 600 and like the sprint racing, and then I got like third overall in the whole class, and then I think that was like the 2019-2020 year, and then after that they just bumped us up, and I was like, all right, I feel like I'm more responsible now to be an expert rider, and I got some like trophies under my belt and like more recognition of tracks and the experience and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool.
Nice.
And after that, expert everything, boy.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of in the middle. Well, in between. I'm expert some things, some like Wera and CCS Azra. I did the Pan American Series last year, so I did that as an amateur, just to learn the program and stuff like that, and so forth. But yeah, it is like I remember my I think 20. I think I figured it was 1 year I did all right. I think it was either 2020 or one of those years, and I turned it down the first year. And just same thing. I just wanted to make sure I was I can be more consistent and stuff like that. What are your thoughts? I know you said you went to Daytona a couple of times. What are your thoughts on racing at Daytona?
Daytona is fun. Like, if you've never been, I tell you to go like at least once or twice. Like, go once to do it, and then go twice to like actually ride that thing. Because the first time you're gonna be like, "What the is this?" It's nothing to learn. It's very confusing though. Like the barrel turn, like turn one, I don't know where it starts half the time. I'm like, why is there a wall right here?
Yeah,
and then like you come through a little chicane. Do that section, and then you got a sweeping like a barrel turn, but you don't follow the apex, you just follow the road. Like you don't go anywhere where the rumble strips are. It's so confusing.
Right.
And the kink, and then another set of turn that's just like that. And I'm like, where do you turn right here? Like, where do you like? It was so confusing. And then when you get onto the back straightaway or onto the actual Daytona, the pavement changes. So like, you can't get on the gas too early, like in the beginning, because it like kind of like gets you kind of squirrely. The bike set straight, and then going on to the banking, you're like mad nervous because it's so high. Or like, honestly, the first time I went, I didn't go. I stayed mid seam down. Like I didn't go above the seam. I was like, I tried. I was like, oh no, I'm good.
Yeah, I almost stopped. I almost stopped on a track. I was like, down to like 30 miles an hour or something like that. I was just like, yeah, you got to keep going because I think you'll fall down if you actually stop. And I got back on the gas, but it was very intimidating.
Intimidating to the max, bro. Like it was the most scariest thing like of riding. Like I never seen like it was like a wall. You're like, who? Like, nah, I'm gonna get back down. Like, no. So every race I did, I was mid-track the whole time. Like, y'all up there, go ahead. I see you. Like, I'm straight down here. And then like the second time I went, I was like, don't be a punk. immediately, as soon as you come out of that barrel, out of the back straightaway or whatever, just go straight forward, bro. And I went up there and I was like, oh my gosh, this is high. Like, I was like, just hit it. I was like, I did it. I did it.
It's pretty crazy. It's the same thing. The first, I think I've been there like 4 times. And the first couple of times, the same thing. And now I'm still not all the way up to the top, but I'm more comfortable on the strips. I can stay above that. But the craziest thing was the G-force. I didn't, like just feeling the G-force, and like even afterwards, how fatigued you are up here on your arms, and you're like, what? How is my arm? It took me a little bit to figure out what it was, but it was just like I was just like, yeah, it's crazy how much. Yeah, man, how painful it is.
It's wild. Like I remember I came out of, I forget what turn it is, but you come out of there's like this chicane in the back straightaway, and then you come back onto the banking again.
Yep. Yeah. And then go back to start straight.
It's a tri-oval.
Yeah.
And then the bike straightens up right there, and you're like, whoa.
And you can feel it pushing you down right there.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, why am I sinking? I'm trying to keep my head up. So my neck, and I'm like, I'm about to pass out. I'm like fighting myself.
Yeah.
I'm like going through the finish line. I'm like, my bike's like, RPMs. I'm like, do not blow up, bro. Do not blow up. I'm like, all right. Then you downshifting. You're like, I downshifted way too early.
Yeah.
Like, where is turn 1? And then the next time I go way too far, and I'm like, whoa! I'm like,
yeah.
That little empty area of nothing. I'm like, what is over here? Like, this is nothing. You gotta like turn around like all the way and come back.
Yeah. And I hear that if you hit the grass over there, it's pretty wet too. It's pretty slippery.
I'm good on that.
So, no, it's definitely a fun track, and it's. It's like you say, it's an easy track to learn. It's just, it's one of the few places if you have my KTM, I'm just banging off the rev limiter. So that does, but on the R6, it's like, to be flat out on the R6 for that long in the top of 6 is pretty
crazy.
Cool.
You're like, damn, I'm going $170 on a 600 right now. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Big old, like a littlest sprocket in the back, big old sprocket in the front. You're like, all right, this is different right here.
Yeah.
No drive.
And it doesn't take much to turn the bike. So it's like you're just leaning your head a little, and the bike is turning. And it's the biggest thing is just making sure you have a tall windshield because once you pop your head out, bro, it's just like it's crazy how you like the wind is just pushing you back.
Your whole visor can come off so bad up there. It's not clipped in properly.
Yeah, for sure.
Pop off.
Nice.
Look at them Icon helmets. Don't wear an Icon helmet. It's not safe.
All right, good to know. I'll try not to, unless I have to. If that's the only thing that's available, you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, what are some of the other tracks? Because you said you were doing CCS Azure when it was the Florida series, and Barbara. So, how far north have you gone? And what are some of the tracks you've gone to?
The furthest north I've been was North Carolina, CMP. I think that's North Carolina, or is that?
Yeah, that's South Carolina. CMP.
Yeah, so that's the furthest I've been. That track is phenomenal. Like, it was like a bigger Palm Beach International Raceway with like so much scenery. I was just like, whoa, trees, like the hills. It was a beautiful track. The way it was set up and laid out, it was a really nice layout. I like that track. The pits were nice. They had a nice little like a canopy, or what do you like a garage area. It was really nice.
Oh yeah, the open is it open paddock, right?
Yeah, it's open bay, but it's nice to have that. Just you don't really have to bring too much, Like I love not having to bring a tent and all that extra nonsense with you. Tent city, you're like, dang. But CMP. And then coming down, Road Atlanta. I did Road Atlanta with Weira, and then did Barbara with CCS. No, sorry, Barbara with Weira and Pan Am Superbike, and then also did NOLA with Pan Am Superbike. That was a cool track. NOLA was fun. The city was fun. Everything, like just being around that atmosphere was nice. Different.
Yeah.
It's like a really flat track, but I'm used to that. So it was pretty cool to see like a different like layout, like how they had their setup.
Yeah, I went there for the first time last year with Pan America, and yeah, and downtown and New Orleans is pretty chill. Yeah, it's it was a lot of bugs,
bugs. And the track is bumpy too at some point.
Yeah,
so it's like insane bumpy. I'm like, goodness gracious.
Yeah. It's nice though. I do like it. I don't know if I don't think you have been to NC Bike. In certain section it reminds me of NC Bike, and that's in North Carolina.
The back section where you're like,
yeah.
I love that section, bro. I was on the twin bike, bro. That thing is like, like just on the gas the whole time, like, and it was cool because when you would like come here, you just turn your wheel. And then it will just set you up. And then as soon as you turn your wheel again, you just turn it back again. And you're like, am I dancing? Like, this thing is just... And the tire is going the other way while you're going the other way. I'm like, this is bad. I like that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a rider right now.
Yeah, NOLA's a nice track. I enjoyed myself there. I don't know. It depends. We'll see. We'll see what happens this year. I'm trying to be particular this year on which track I go to.
Yeah.
But I'm open to at least going to the new tracks at least once. So like, because I did Talladega last year and NOLA last year. I did Barbara and Road Atlanta last year, and those are all new tracks for me for the first time. How is it for you going to new tracks and learning them? Do you figure it out in a weekend, or do you need to go there a few times? Because for me in 21, when I was going to a lot of new tracks, at first, like it took me a while to learn the tracks, but like after going to like 5 new tracks, it seemed like my brain was just getting quicker at learning the tracks. And I was also like watching videos and trying to absorb as much information I could before I got to the track.
All right, yeah. So learning new tracks, man. Like when I go to a new track, I think it was like my first new track other than like Homestead and Palm Beach when I wasn't used to going anywhere else was Roebling Road.
Okay.
And it was like just a long straightaway and like a sweeping turn. I was not used to any of that. And I was like, yo, what, like, why? Everybody's like, why are you slowing down? I'm like, what do you mean? It's a turn. They're like, no, you don't slow down here. So like, it was kind of like learning new concepts, like of like sweeping the corners or like keeping my corner speed a lot longer and stuff like that. And just picking up like different like ways of riding at different spots. And then when I go further up north, there'd be like a hill. I'm like, what is a hill? Like I went to Barbara, I couldn't see half the time. So I'm like sketched out because I'm going up a corner and I'm like, they're like, the track never moves, bro. I'm like, bro, I'm scared right now. Like, I don't know that the road's over there still. Like, I'm trying to learn all this. So
I'm with you, bro. Right
like,
there.
It was so hard for me at like in the beginning, but like now when I go to a track, like my newest track I ever been to was this year was Road Atlanta or last year, and I watched like a couple of videos there, but all the videos I've watched there, it's not the same. I feel like the layout looked funny to me. And then when you go there, you don't have any concept of height and like not being able to see. So I'm like, these videos I watch are kind of like no good, I'm like,
yeah, it doesn't do a good job at elevation changes.
Yeah, so I'm like coming up the first turn. I'm like, this is not what I saw in the video, like I didn't know it was 2 stories up,
Yeah.
Then I come over, I'm like left, right, left, right, left, right. I'm like, this is crazy. Like to learn that really fast. And then once I did like 5-6 laps, it was simple track. I'm like, oh, this is really easy. But when you first start riding, it's not like that. It's like it takes a lot more time to actually figure the track out. Because I think by the end of the day, because I got put in expert group. So at the end of the day, I was already at pace, probably off by like the Moto America guys are doing like 10 seconds faster, but the guys that were in my group were like maybe 4 or 5 seconds faster. So I'm
Okay.
like those were like the guys that had race numbers on, and then the regular guys had like no numbers. I was already beating them, so I was like, that was all right with me. I was like, first time here, beating some people that live here, and then almost at pace with like amateur ride, like a fast amateur rider or a
Right.
slower expert rider. I'm keeping up with them, or little kids. Like one kid had a little 250 NSR. You know those things. You know those kids be moving, bro. Like you can't fly.
They be
So
moving,
those
man.
kids are at pace for like a 600 already. So like if you keep up with them, then you end up start passing them. You're like, all right, I'm doing pretty good, you know. Like, but if you can't pass that little 250, you're not there yet, you know. Like, because they're honestly most of the 250s are at pace at most tracks for any bike. So you're like, that kid's quick, you know. So if you keep up with them, you feel pretty confident about where you're at.
Right. Yeah. No. Barbara. So I went to Pitt, and I believe in 2023, and that was the first track that with crazy elevation change to me. I think it's 18 or 19 turns at Pitt, and same thing. You know, blind turns, and it's like, yeah, I know the road. Like you say, the road don't move, but you still
Feel
like,
it do, man. It's been crazy.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I need more muscle memory as far as remembering where my lines are and stuff than one day. But going to Barbara last year, and they're similar to me in tracks and layout and stuff like that. It was easier for me to get more comfortable at Barbara. But I think it's because I went to Pitt already and I was used to some blind turns.
Yeah.
And you know. I wouldn't say I was up to pace, but I felt I didn't have the right gearing anyway. I had like Loudon gearing on the bike, and I needed a different gearing. I felt pretty comfortable at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Gearing does make a big difference at so many tracks, man. Like that'll make or break any type of lap time you're trying to achieve right there. So if you don't really know about that either, you're gonna be stuck like switching gears 30 times that you don't really need to be doing, especially the 600s or the twin bikes. Like the gearing really matters. 300s, the gearing is everything, especially on the back straightaway. Like,
yeah, no, it took me. Yeah, I think all of 21 or most of 21, I wasn't messing with gearing, and then I realized how much it was killing me, especially on the R6 with engine braking. It just like as soon as I got off the gas, I was just slow. So I'm better at it, and I'm better at it than ever before as far as changing the gearing and trying to just get it right. And especially on the RC 390s, you kind of have to. You gotta get the gearing right on those bikes.
Got my gear packs like 41 to 50. I'm like, this is wild right now. Like, what am I doing? Like, I got every gear, $50, $30 a gear. I'm like, oh god, and here we go. But I got the BMW. I just got a BMW S1000 at the end of the year, and I haven't I don't even need to change gears on this bike because second gear I'm going 130, bro. I'm like, what? I'm good. Like, what gearing do I really need here? Like, I don't want to go any more torqueier. I don't want to go any more like.
Right. And is the S1 for the street or the track or both?
The track, yeah, the track. I don't even ride on the street anymore. It's been about like 9 years now.
Oh wow! I was gonna ask that. Like, how much street riding are you doing now? It's not, but it sounds like you're just straight track.
I got a Z125. My truck breaks down, so I can go to work. But that's it. So it goes like 60 miles an hour. I can barely wheelie it. So I put a small sprocket so I can go like that's it. Like I can't get in trouble. I used to do a lot of like reckless stuff on the street. So like with the guys and it's going too fast. So now I just limit myself. Like none of the bikes have headlights. Like the bike that does have a tail light, I took the battery out. So I have to put the battery in, take the body work off. And so, you're like, I don't want to do all that. So I'm like, right. Out, little 125, and I call it a day. And that's it. That's all I need. If I really do need a ride, I might take like the street bike in my little plaza, my home complex, and then I'll go like there's a little straightaway, and I'll do like a launch right on the little straightaway right there. But it's towards a section where nobody can go out and you can only go in. So I'm like, I just do a nice little launch and then go home. I'm like, all right, that was it. Like,
wow. And so how often do you go to the track? Like once a month then, or?
I try to do once a month, but most of the time it's like every other month. Like, but like last year was kind of dwindling down. I kind of did it like once a month, and then towards the end of the year started like spacing out a little bit more and stuff like that. But usually it's once a month. Last year, or what was it 2024, 2023 was almost like every 2-3 weeks. I try to get out there, and try to stay fresh and go do something on the track and just enjoy it.
Last year was the first year in a while that I stopped in September. I think so. I think I raced that Roblin was my last round, and then I did the Jennings the other day. So from September until a week ago, I hadn't raced, and that's the longest I've gone without being on a bike, and it felt pretty weird not being able to ride. But I had like bike issues I had to sort out and scheduling and all that stuff. So I hope I hear you with the tailoring back, because like in I think I did 21 rounds in 2021. And I hope to get there again, somewhere close to that. But we'll see. Now, do you find yourself doing like a fair amount of track days and racing, or mostly racing these days?
This year I looked at like the schedule that I'm going to be doing. So I did like the Florida series schedule, and then I was going to do one Weir race this year in the beginning so far. So they got the Roebling Road in March on the 17th. So I'm going to try to get up there and do that one, my first race on the big bike at Roebling, and I'll bring the twin up there as well. I'm trying to beat my last lap time there. I think I did a 19-1 or almost 18 on the twin. So I want to do like a 117. I'm trying to like really fly around that thing. And then after that, in May, the first race for Pan Am Superbike is at Barber Motorsports. So I'm going to go to Barber, Roebling, and then was that May, June, they have a Homestead round. And then after that, they have another round at Roebling again. And then I'll see where I'm going to end up after that. But
Gotcha. Yeah, I see that. I'm looking at the schedule now. Okay, they don't start until May.
Yeah, so that kind of messed me up. But that race is my birthday, and it's Mother's Day weekend, which is funny, the 11th. So I was like, oh, it was my birthday gift. I always end up riding on my birthday, so that's all right with me. So
now, what made you go with the S1000, and what year did you go with?
I got it 2017. My buddy let me borrow it beginning of last year. Actually, he's like, my bike had broke down. He's like, yo, I know you want to race. You can race my bike. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, just take the bike out, go get some numbers, put it all up on there. And he's like, I want somebody to ride it. I don't really ride it like that. I'm like, okay, so you want me to ride your S1000, like fully done Alpha Team Pro Racing package, like full suspension. It's got like all of electronics. I'm like, all right, I'll ride it. And I ended up riding it, and I like fell in love with the thing. I'm like, that thing was so fast. Like I didn't even know how to understand how fast it was. Like the buttons. Like I still don't know the buttons on that thing. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't even touch nothing because I don't want to set up. Like I feel like if I add something, I might be subtracting. Actually, like, put more like traction control, but I'm actually taking away like the feeling that I need. I don't know. I was like, I'm just gonna leave this bike how I got it right now. I'm just riding a bucking Bronco at this point. But the thing is amazing. Like the cornering and the way it handles is really good. It's just having to learn how to deal with the braking and stuff like that. How much further back you have to be on the braking, and then coming out of the corner, it's very like strenuous in a sense. Like once you're coming out of the corner and you're on the gas and you kind of like want to hang off the bike, but you want to pull yourself back on, but the bike is so much quicker. It's like harder to get back on top of the bike. So you're like pulling yourself over, and then I'm so light, the bike is like pulling away from me. So I'm like, get back over here. And then my neck, I'm like, bro, I'm like, and then by the time I do all this, I have to hit the brakes. So I'm like, oh. So I'm like, I got to work out more and more of a triceps and more calisthenic upper body type of thing. Like the other bikes I can maneuver. I don't get tired. Like stamina is very well, but my muscle strength was put to the test on the 1000, which is pretty cool. So now, like, it's just another like thing for me to overcome and get better at. And like, if I can control this bike like that, if I go back to a 600 or anything like that, it would be just that much easier for me. But yeah, the 1000 is fun, man. It's a whole nother animal. Like everybody's like, take your time on that thing. Everything you're doing is fine. Like, don't rush it. It'll all come. I'm like, yeah, I see that, because this thing has to be respected. And I'm glad I waited for it to be like one of my last bikes to get on.
Right.
For me to actually like respect it and like actually want to learn properly instead of just riding the bike. Like, I'm trying to figure out mechanics, how to use it, all the things that it comes with, like understand why the bikes are doing the certain things. And like, because a lot of suspension work has to go into it, especially now that I'm way lighter. I got the bike from a 220 rider. I'm 160.
Right.
So
okay.
Bike,
wow.
I come out of corners, the bike, the tire wear is nice, but the bike's like, whoa, going sideways to go straight. And I'm like, this is crazy. So, and then when I go on the brakes, I'm not really there on the bike because the bike is not getting weighed down. So I gotta do a lot of different like scenario testing now. So it's cool. It's more fun. It's like another toy to start messing around with again. So I like it.
That is the cool part about new bikes is figuring them out and getting them dialed in to what you like and stuff like that. Now, do you do most of your own wrenching on the bike, or do you or it depends what needs to be done?
Yeah, it depends. All depends. Like, I do all my basic maintenance: oil, tires, chain, spark plugs, sprockets, everything. But if I need suspension, I'll go see Seth Starnes, get a suspension down here, or a couple other guys that do suspension too. I'll hit them up. But mainly Seth helps me out the most because he's always at the track and stuff like that. So he's a real cool guy to hit up for that type of thing. And he just does like little tweaks here and there. Like, I don't always need much because like I feel like if you do too much, you don't really get a feel for what you're doing. So I just do little things here and there, and then I just go like, it might take like 4 race days for me to get it really set, before I even like it. And then I can adjust from there to get a base, so, and then each track will change a little bit. So,
right.
But mainly everything besides like big motor work. But I did build the motor on the SV though, which is pretty cool.
That is dope. I've replaced the engine on the R6, but I haven't cracked the engine open and played with the inside yet. Do you plan on doing any more training with riding at this point in time, or do you feel like you know enough that you just got to when I say train, like going to a school or for like additional training, or you feel like you just need to just kind of work it out because you know what you need to do?
Yeah, I would definitely love to do like more training, like an advanced training school type thing, like the guys that are more at pace to see like exactly where you're at and like what you can like improve on, because there's always a lot of things that you don't even know that you're doing or noticing that you're doing on the track. And then I learned something from just watching people in front of me, even kids. I'll be riding with some kids. I'm like, dang, this kid's doing this. All right, let me try that. And things just end up working out. So like sometimes you think you know everything, but somebody could just make something a little bit easier for you. But yeah, I think it's more of me just being out there, definitely. But if it was like a school that wasn't so dang expensive, I would definitely like love to go. And then most of them are far from me, like the ones in like California. Then they have one in Atlanta sometimes. But then I see the schools that the way they teach you, I don't really like how they do it. Like some of them are at track days, so it's not really like in depth training type thing like that I would like to see from some schools and stuff like that. Like it needs to be like just that school at like that track that day, and not like a lot of other things going on. Because
Right.
kind of
Yeah, I've done California Superbike, their day 1 and day 2 program, and I brought my own bike, but they were the only ones at the track. It wasn't a
that's
track
good.
day
Yeah,
going on. So I know what you mean by that. It's just, especially if you're a new rider, I believe it's like when you have there's a lot of things to process, and maybe more than you really need to.
should be. Yeah. So, but yeah, I would love to get like a hands-on. Like I see all these fast guys. I just follow them around because I ride with a lot of Motor America guys. So I ride with like Stefano, Max Angles, the Lucas brothers, Silva brothers. I mean, Gabriel da Silva, like all those guys. Like just watching them ride around is just like a blessing. Like to be in on the same track, so you're just seeing them do their thing. It's
Right.
like, all right, this is how you're supposed to ride, or Tim Hahn, or like guys like that, and you're just out there with them, and you get training without even notice you're getting training. You're like following by accident. You're like, why am I going so fast right now? Like,
Right.
this is what you're supposed to be doing. Like, okay.
No
And you go
doubt.
tell them, like, I followed you for 3 turns, bro, and you were gone.
Hey, if you can get that, you want to tell folks how they can connect with you on social media?
Oh yeah, for sure. I have a couple different platforms. I have TikTok, Instagram. Uh, they're both Dredmon if you're looking for me, all my racing stuff, and all my barbershop stuff is all on the Dredmon, Dredmon. And then I have Facebook is Adrian Mitchell, is me, yours truly. And then I also have my barbershop page, which is Real Clips Barbershop, and I'm on there all the time as well. So those are 2 pages, and then I also have a suit company that I have. I forgot to tell you about. It's called Pro Speed Apparel. So we make motorcycle suits for other riders and stuff like that.
Okay.
Customize them. All the suits that you see on my page have been made by me and the suit maker I have. They come out of Pakistan, and you got like leather, cowhide, and that site is Pro Speed Apparel on Instagram also. So you can go there. If you ever need a suit, gloves, anything, just reach out to me. I'll give you a good deal on them. And they last because, trust me, I crashed a lot. And those suits have all held up. None of them have like torn on me and malfunctioned. So it's pretty cool to get like that other part of the business and part of the riding aspects. I can help other riders too and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool in that part. So yeah, those are the 3 places: Dredmon, Pro Speed Apparel, and Real Clips Barbershop. Those are my 3 pages that you can find me on all social platforms.
Nice. That's what's up, man. Well, Dredmon, I want to thank you for coming on. I appreciate it, man. And have a blessed day.
You too, man. Nice talking to you. Have a good night, and we'll talk soon for sure.
All right.